The Elimination Chamber is February 17th, and there are a few things we have to go over. But first off, let's go over the Women's Championship, Tag Championship Chamber. We don't have the full field right now, but we can always speculate what we have so far. So what we have so far, and just by the way, with the women's tag titles coming back, I say coming back because the first time we've had tag titles in WWE for the women since the 80s, early turn to the 90s even. Yeah, around the turn of the 90s almost. Haven't had them for a while, but since the days of the Glamour Girls and the not the Crush Dolls, but the fucking jumping bond angels. Yeah, that's what they were. Uh, but I will say that it's good because if they can make it successful, then we might have more women's tag championships around the world because a lot of companies do follow what WWE does and say, hey, they can do this, we can do this, which isn't the mentality you should do. The indies should probably innovate more, which they do. It's just, in this situation, it's one of those weird things that's like, why is this not a thing? And of course, you lead to TNA when they had their knockout tag titles and they didn't last long, and there you go with that. But nonetheless, so far we have the Samoan dynasty of Nia Jax and Tamina, Riot Squad members Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Now, for those that haven't seen a tag chamber in a while, it's kind of simple. Depending if... Well, it depends what team's in where, but both members of a team will obviously be in a pod together. Two teams will start the match. If one person from the team's eliminated, the team's eliminated as a whole. And, of course, the winners become the women's tag champs. But I will say that the chambers are harder to speculate and harder to predict, so you get to kind of speculate what will happen. And just based on the current field, I would... You have to eliminate some people out of here. So, I mean, just with the current field, I would say Nia and Tamina win it just because they do. Because they have a bigger advantage, and honestly, if you want to push them and make them do stuff, you can do that. But I would love to see a Riot Squad title win, or Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville having the title as well. But it's just more of the obvious thing. But as the match fills up, that opinion will change over the next few weeks. Speaking of chambers, the WWE Championship, the Hemp title, will be defended in the chamber as Daniel Bryan defends against AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, and Mustafa Ali. And it'll be interesting to see if the title actually makes it to the chamber because, as I said before, it is now made completely out of hemp, which could say something about the wellness policy. Having more relaxed rules, so to speak, with that hemp title. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that that's a thing, and it's going to be hard as hell to get that for security. I will say that, especially with all the shit going down with that. But nonetheless, with the chambers, like I said before, it's harder to predict these, so I'll just cross people out as I go along here. With the hemp title being basically a temporary title, I feel Bryan would lose it either at WrestleMania or on this show. So I would say Bryan loses just because the temporary title, it's biodegradable, allegedly. So, and we don't know if it's made out of full hemp. I don't know. We don't know, and I'm not an expert on it. I don't know. But if it is a biodegradable belt, it wouldn't be wise to have it for like 5 years because that thing will degrade or begin to, and it won't look good. But out of the current field, I don't know. I really don't know. I would pick Joe just because this structure has his kind of he could use a lot of shit for this. Use the chains, use the fucking floor, use the grates, use whatever, use the glass. Joe, this is a home field advantage for Joe because I feel he could just do some crazy shit in here. And I feel Joe could win it. But obviously Bryan and AJ are going to cross each other out. If it came down to it, Hardy and Joe would cross each other out, and we'd be with Mustafa Ali and Randy Orton. And in that case, I don't think they'd put the title on Mustafa Ali this quickly. So I would go with Orton just because it's a safer option. And finally, the SmackDown Tag Titles are on the line as the best tag team in the world, Miz and the best in the world, Shane McMahon, face the Usos. The Usos last night won a Fatal 4-Way Elimination match to get this opportunity. And I don't know what they would do. I really do not know what they'll do. I'm just going to say Shane and Miz retain just because I want to see this go all the way to Mania. But I would not be surprised if the Usos became 6-time tag champs just because they're that good of a team that this could be a very short reign. But with that being said, Elimination Chamber is the 17th. And as these matches fill up, we'll just keep you updated.